Hello, hi, this is Chow from EcoCard Solution. This video training will cover on the GST setup and its processes. All right. Now, once you subscribe to our services, you'll be given login ID, and when you log into the system, you'll be shown this login prompt. Then log in with the login ID and a password. Okay. When you log in with login ID and password, the first thing the system will show is a intelligence dashboard. Okay, the intelligence dashboard will show you the compliance monitor, meaning that there are certain things that you need to really be very careful, otherwise you will be in breach with the GST regulation law. What the first item that we are highlighting is that if you have not registered um, your business for GST and the sales volume exceeds 500,000 annually, then the system will prompt to you in red color. All right, it will actually perform a forecast for you, right, for based on your total sales. Right now, the other item that the system will also highlight to you is the 21-day rule. The 21-day rule basically means that if you issue a DO, your invoice must be issued out within 21 days. Okay, otherwise it is not. It is the issue. Your invoice has to be issued within 21 days. Now, then if it is issued 21 days, then your supply date is actually your DO date. All right. So this is what happens, and it will capture. Go and check out, read on the 21-day rule set defined by the Malaysian custom. In addition to that, if you receive payments from your supplier on the sales that you have made to them for more than 6 months, then you can claim back the output. You have to pay back the government on the output tax. All right. The same time, on the other side, that is for supplier. If you decide to pay your supplier for purchases that was more than 6 months, all right, then you can claim back the input tax. Okay, so this indicators indicates that the compliances that you need to comply with, failing to comply with, there will be a penalty imposed by the Malaysian government. Okay, so we have made this available for you so that you can monitor easily, and each time when you log in, these things will be displayed to you so that you can take corrective action and you don't leave anything out. All right. So I'll start off with the GST setup. Now in the GST setup, okay, the first thing that you need to monitor is that you have to check, okay, before you commence, which is on the 1st of April. You go to the setup, account module setup, okay. Account module setup, you find that there is a tab, okay, which is the GST setup. Click onto the GST setup. Make sure the setup is done correctly. Okay, especially the GST start date. This has a lot of influence in terms of your processes. All right. So now this is set to 1st of January. The reason is that this was done so that I can commence my testing purpose. Okay. Make sure you change it to 1st of April. All right. Now, once I've done that, make sure you click update. Okay. The rest of the parameters should remain the same. No different. If they are different, make sure you change it accordingly. The only thing that you probably have to monitor is the Malaysian Standard Industry Code. All right, Malaysian Standard Industry Code. Okay, basically it's available in uh, uh, Malaysian Standard Industry Code. When you register for GST, okay, they will assign a industry code for you. Update the industry code in here so that you reduce the data entry when you perform your sales and purchases accordingly. Okay, so once you're happy, okay, the definition is correct, make sure you update this. Okay, once you've done that, okay, go to the GST control account setup. Now in the GST control account setup, okay, it is very important there must be account already defined and mapped against with the corresponding tax account. Okay, so if input tax, if it is blank over here, if you see an entry something like this, okay, something is wrong. You have not set up the system correctly yet. Okay, so if you have set up the system correctly, okay, then you should see all has been filled up. Okay, let me go back to here again. You should see this setup for you. Right, you can give your own account name. It doesn't matter. The system will know what to do, and you will post to this respective account. Okay, you don't have to follow exactly the same account name here, but if you want to, it will be easier for you too. All right. Now, I'll highlight one more time. This should not be blank. Okay, this must have some values already been selected. Now, so there are three things that you have to check. First here, GST setup, control account setup, okay, and finally, you need to check your tax code setup. Where do you check the tax code setup? All right, go to the GST, tax schedule maintenance, okay, and make sure you maintain this period and go to the list tax code. Now, in the list tax codes, you see that we have defaulted some input tax and output tax for you. Okay, so now if this indicates you have set up, but you have to make sure that the setup on which account is done correctly. Okay, some of them is expenses, some of them is non-expenses. Okay, so you need to consult your tax agent to advise you exactly what tax account to use. If you need tax agent assistance, do contact us. We can guide you which tax agent to refer to that we are working with. Okay, so now how do you see an error? Okay, to determine an error, normally you will find that this is assigned to something blank. Okay, when you see a blank, okay, you see something called noun appearing. When you see a noun, you know that you have not defined your chart account correctly. Sorry, your tax account correctly to this particular tax code. So this particular tax code, you must have an input tax, and if you see a noun, that means you have not defined the input tax. Okay, so very important, you have to define this correctly. So basically, three things you have to do. Okay, and I'll update this back. First, you have to check is that your setup is done correctly. Okay, account module setup, which is actually under the GST setup. Okay, GST and GST control account setup. Okay, make sure they are all properly defined. Finally, make sure that your tax code, okay, has account defined in it too. Okay, make sure they are not nouns. Okay, there must be some tax account, and verify that the account that is being posted to is correct. Okay, otherwise when you generate you perform your sales and purchases or receipt or payments, you will not go to the right account. Okay, now once you have done that, you're ready to go. Now I will create a sales. Okay, but before that, I would like to change this setup so that I start early my GST period. And to do that, I go back to here, GST setup. I change this to 1st of April, 1st of January. Okay. Okay, that means my GST starts on 1st of January. If I perform my sales on 3rd of March 2015, and if this is 1st of April, I won't be able to generate bad debt relief and recover. Okay, so my purpose is basically to demonstrate the bad debt relief and recover. Okay, that's why I'm changing to 1st of January, so that by July you'll see the bad debt recovery relief actions taken place, and then you can issue payments and receipt. All right, so that is the purpose of this video training. Now I'm going to create a sales. Okay, we're going to make it very simple. In the sales, okay, you select customer, okay, sales, and I make sure I have to select a tax code here, which is an SR, so standard rate, sales account. A sales account is this. So I save it. Oops, I should save it under the January, not March. Okay. Save it. Right. Now let's go back to sales. Okay, and you'll see that there was a transaction created over here. Okay, it just created. Now go back to my purchases. I'm going to create a purchase transaction. Okay, create a purchase transaction. Okay, supplier. interfaces, normally is TX. Okay. Now, if you are advanced level user, um, this topic will not cover. It will cover probably in another video. Okay. So we have purchases. Okay, and my transaction date is going to be 1st January. Sorry. Okay, you're not allowed to have blank here. Okay, so now if you go back to purchase, you'll find that there's a transaction created. Okay, so this is 2000 and the earlier one was 1000. So what happens is that I'm going to create a scenario where there is a bad debt recover and relief. Now, suppose you have only these transactions. Okay, there's no other transactions. So what happens is that you want to close the month, right, for your GST. How do you go about to do that? The question, to do that, what first thing you have to do is go to month end process. You have to perform 5 steps. Okay, generate invoice, bad debt recover, and outstanding invoices more than 6 months payment. All right, and close the month and generate the GST. Now, for the purpose of this demo, okay, I'll create another one more, which is the DO, right? This is for the 21-day rule. Okay, 21-day rule test. 1000, 2000, 1, 2,000. All right, and the text code I'm going to use a SR. Okay, sales. Right, so I'm going to save this, and I go back to my DO. I've got a DO created. Okay, so now what happens is that if I go back to my landing page, which is here, you'll see there is a DO. Okay, if there's a DO, it means that you have to take action, okay, to issue invoice. All right, when you go and see, you go back to the DO, right, and this generate the invoice. Okay, so before you actually perform the step 4, make sure you perform step 1, 2, 3 first before do a step 4. All right, so step 1, what is that? Go back to, let's say I go back to here, and step 1 will go to your DO, okay, DO screen, and I tell you that there is a new DO, okay, and you have not issued invoices. Okay, the date was actually on the 3rd. Now, is this relevant? No, they are not relevant because you're closing on in the month of January. Okay, if you go here, you're actually closing the month of January. You are not closing the month of March, right? The DO is on the March. Therefore, you can just skip this. Okay, now I'm going to close this month. Okay, so what about bad debt recover? There's none because we don't have a case that do a bad debt recover. We will do that afterward. And but what about outstanding invoices more than 6 months? There's none. Okay, and go back to here. Now finally you're ready to close the month. Now, so you can see that there was a supply for the month of January amounting 1000, right? Now these values are important for your partial exemptions, okay, computation when you need to compute back your formula. Now what I have to do is that click submit. Okay, you will automatically move to the February month. Now you know that February month we have not performed any transactions so far, so I will continue to submit March. Okay, now as you can see, you have a DO pending tax invoice, right? Just now there's none. March, you have to issue the invoice. You have to issue the invoice. Okay, so click onto here, it will show you the listing. Okay, there's one. All right, so you can come here to check generate the invoices, or you can go back to DO to generate invoices. Okay, so it's up to you how you want to do it. Now, if I come back to here to generate invoice, okay, what I have to do is just click. So now you are in the month of March, okay, because I've moved on to March already. Okay, you check here, you are in the March, right? So my DO, I can generate invoice. As you can see, the status here has changed to invoice, right? So if I want to see my invoice, you can click to here to view the invoice. Okay, this is the invoice that you have created. Okay, now go back to now you want to do close the month of uh, March, right? In March, you have actually conducted a sale. Okay, the sale is 2,000, which is a 21-day rule test that we had earlier, right? So now you don't have a DO outstanding. Okay, so next, okay, you can close the month. Now, if you want to generate the GST each time when you close the month, okay, you can generate the GST 03 form. How do you generate the GST 03 form? Okay, each time when you close 1 month, you have to generate the GST 03 form, right? Now, how do you do that? Okay, generate GST form. Okay, select the month, January to January, February to February, or March to March, right? If I click on January to January, okay, it will show you a temporary friendlier format in the table. Shows you the period, from what period to what period, and the tax amount, and how much you have to pay. Okay, now if you remember that we make a sale of 1,000 and purchases of 2,000, so you can claim back, okay, input tax of $60, right? 120 minus 60, you get the 60 here. Okay, so if you want to see the transaction detail, just click onto the link over here and it'll bring you to the detail page. Okay, so now from here you can generate the GST 03 form. Okay, in the GST 03 form, you can make it larger. You can, all you have to do, print this one out. Okay, once you print out, then sign on this section and you can submit. This is the manual way of doing it. Okay, when the GST is ready for for online submission, file upload, then what you have to do is that generate tab file. Okay, and the generate tab file, you download, create a file for you, all right, and you can open them and you just upload this file. That's all you have to do. But as far as I know, the custom, the last I check is that they are not ready yet. So maybe they open up by 1st of April. So you have to check it out. Okay. So right now, next, okay, is that let's see, supplier. Now we are in March. Okay, we have closed the month of March. We're going to continue to close the month for March. All right. Submit. Okay, so you have submitted, and we're going to continue with this, okay, until July. Okay, there's no transaction, no value. Okay, June, there's no value. Now you can see that we have not received any payment nor receipt from your customer. Okay, you have not done anything. So what happens is that the system will automatically compute and calculate the difference and return back the input tax and output tax to the government, or you claim back from the government. Okay, so it will create accounting entry for you, and all you have to do is just submit. Okay, now, so what happens is that you already submitted when you generate the what they call your GST 03, okay, in the month of July. You have actually claimed back the money already. Okay, amount payable, right, is 60, right? So because your tax output is only your tax output is 120, your tax input is 60. Okay, this is your purchases 2,000 and your sales of $60. So the difference is actually $60. Okay, your bad debt relief is 160. Okay, now once this is done, okay, you can start receiving payment. Okay, let's say we will create a scenario whereby you make a payment and also a receipt. Okay, payment and receipt for this month. Okay, July, we have already closed the month of July. All right, now September, July, sorry, August. Now we're in the month of August. Okay, let's see, are we in the month of August? Yes, we are in the month of August. So we receive payment from your customer. Okay, receive money from your customer who wants to pay the $1,000 sales that you made now, right? Customer A, he has a sales um, of 1,000. Okay, this is actually the what we call 21-day rule. And example, now I'm going to make payment for March, August, right? I'm going to have this payment. Let's say he pay only $500, 500. Okay, so right. So this is a brought forward balance. It will automatically offset for you. All right. So I'll click on this, submit. Okay, you have received payment. Now, same thing. You pay your supplier, right? You're gonna make payment to your supplier, right? Now, supplier A, I've got this supplier, okay, which is I'm gonna make it in August. Let's say 300. I'm not gonna pay full. I'm gonna pay only 300, right? And to offset this 300, and that's it. Submit. Okay. Now you have received payment. Okay, you have made payment to your supplier and also received money from your customer. So when you close August month, the time, okay, you need to go through every step. Every month when you close, you have to go through these steps. Okay, assuming you are doing it on a monthly basis, all right. Even in quarterly basis, also you have to do the same thing too. There's no difference, all right. So you have to make sure that you have generated invoices, okay, and make sure you recover the bad debt and recover. So now